these make sense. I do like some targeted bans once we get a little bit further in there. I mean, Hoopa just a great ban as well. So let's see what the first picks are.
First pick is going to be an Umbreon, and of course with Lapras off the table, a premier defender is Umbreon itself, and quickly locked in by Oyasumi Makuro.
It'll be interesting, actually, if we end up seeing, okay, I was going to say the Slowbro here because we've seen OMO Abyssinian really prioritize this tree. I love the fact that they've been doing so well with it. Trevenant, Miwa in particular on that Pokemon, and then actually getting the Inteleon as well. We may be seeing Luis stick with that instead of the Mew this time around.
Well, the thing that's going on here, of course, is so many power Pokemon are still left, including the two that they are hovering right now. Zacian and Urshifu, just resident nightmares here in the Thea Sky Ruins, always giving the opposition trouble.
Yeah, but we did just see OMO Abyssinian run against multiple games of the Urshifu plus Zacian combo, and they just dominated. So we are going to be seeing the pick of the Eldegoss and the Blastoise. The Blastoise can have a little bit of a tough time there, especially if it's going to be in that top half against the Zacian. That could be rough.
That can be very tough indeed. Oyasumi Makuro favoring this Espeon, hovering it again, locking in the Blissey for sure, and the Espeon as well. OMO Abyssinian has a real opportunity here with the last pick, what I call the gutter pick, and it can be a great counter pick, and they see the Zoroark and they snatch that thing up.
That's undoubtedly going to be Schwa picking up that Pokemon. Been doing so well with it recently, and this is going to be definitely a brawl of a game. Just seeing these comps, you know that especially on the side of Oyasumi Makuro, they're going to want to be diving. On the other side, OMO Abyssinian has shown that they are absolutely not afraid of challenging that over and over. So, I mean, when we get our casters in, it's going to be a lot for them, and I'm excited for it.
I'm expecting big plays out of Tempest here on this tree to set up Shua on the Zoroark as well, without a doubt. And Luis, who we just saw crack off with the Mew, picking up the Inteleon, another strong attacker ready to go. But this game is ready to go, so let's get our casters in here because they're ready to go. Kellosaurus, Zoinks, take it away.
Hello, we have another elimination match on our hands, and this is the difference between a bronze or a silver medal at the World Championships of Pokemon Unite in our second season. OMO Abyssinian on an absolute heater run through this bracket, but they are going to be going up against some of the toughest competition we've seen yet.
A heater run indeed, but are they going to be able to keep up that heat going into this next match? I must say, looking at these team compositions, I feel like we are going to see all-out brawls happening.
Absolutely. I would be disappointed with anything else. These teams have shown that aggression is the name of their game, and it has been such an excellent match to watch. Here we go. Yokohama, Japan, excited for this match just as much as we are. And already we have Heat leveling up in that central area. Shua versus P is going to be the story of the match for me in particular. Their Urshifu on Oyasumi Makuro is absolutely incredible. I can't wait to see what they can do in this match.
They may have been incredible previously, but are they going to be able to keep up that momentum and really shine? Otherwise, this Zacian, this Chansey combo up in the top lane, it's quite scary. But then again, you have the Gossifleur with the red buff to slow down this Zacian. Can they get the KO? It ends up using its eject button, the tackle, to try and catch on up. But no, it managed to make it back to base and get those shields.
Yeah, the resource they did steal away from that Zacian, though, is that eject button. So some early game aggression will be available for OMO Abyssinian, knowing that escape tool is not there for them. He on this blue Shifu, the rapid strike Urshifu, is looking to get an early knockout, but Shua and them just exchange blows and immediately retreat back, trying to get some positioning for this first 850 fight.
Just a little bit of a respect there, not wanting to engage just yet, as we do have some experience on the map, but the Eevee ends up getting denied any of that and wasn't able to evolve. Thankfully, it was able to grab that with the experience share, and now they are at their full evolution. But look, we have Shua on the hunt. Thankfully, there was a green berry there for the Urshifu to make a quick escape.
Yeah, Shua hunting down that chase. And what we are seeing from Oyasumi Makuro so far is just the identity of that Japan region. They are a snow low Bali region. They play very low evolution Pokemon that can get to their power spikes quick, and then they try to run over top of their opponents. OMO Abyssinian, though, playing a bit more late scaling, and great play by J Rapsid. They're going to make it out of danger. That defender and support, not too much of a threat to this Eldegoss. They get some information, and they escape back to their team.
Information is key. You just have to have your eyes on where all of your opponents are. But look at this. We have 3 birds for this is Shifu right now for Oyasumi Makuro.
Yeah, some great experience going there. Also, really cool stat card we saw on the bottom of our screen. OMO Abyssinian having so many game 3s, having a huge match record, over 10 wins to their name. But here we go, the defense around the goal zone. Oyasumi Makuro getting a few stacks in, but immediately trying to retreat. Poor Blissey caught out Pinta in a tough spot there, and there goes the support.
There goes the support, and there goes the defense as well, along with the Zacian as well. 4 members of OMO Abyssinian, they are looking to take this tier 1 pad. But I must say, Shifu is putting up quite the fight, using those kicks to try and defend. Can they stop them? Yes, they did.
Yeah, great stop there. Great defense from Oyasumi Makuro. The Blissey finally returning meant that he could fight a little bit more aggressively and finally have the HP to work with. However, thanks to OMO Abyssinian winning a couple of fights in a row, their War Turtle is already at level 7 at that 7-minute mark. Of course, they won a Blastoise for that first team fight. However, it is a pretty solid advantage to have this late game scaling Pokemon already at this break point.
Oh, definitely. But otherwise, since there is no Hooper on the map, everyone has to use their legs to go down to these objectives.
The old-fashioned way.
Exactly. We can see that OMO Abyssinian, they were able to take advantage of this Regieleki. 2 members up there. All the meantime, we have Zacian trying to shred down this Reggie steal for themselves. Or Eldegoss lurking. Can they get the steal? No. It ends up being the Espeon.
Great play there from Oyasumi's Espeon. That is Mame. Of course, we all know this name from tournaments past last year's World Championships. Mame put on an absolute show, and this tournament is no exception. In the top 3 position, again, Oyasumi Makuro has had a fantastic tournament, and now they are trying to go up against Luminosity Gaming in that grand finals.
That, they have their eye on the prize, right? They want to go up against Luminosity, but they have to get through these matches first.
Every single match from this point out is going to be an elimination game, and we have 3 different regions vying over this title. Any team that goes home means that their region's hopes end with them. Oyasumi Makuro, of course, going to be representing Japan. And this initial team fight from Shua looking good so far. A ton of damage onto Umbreon, but the Blissey plus Umbreon combo is just too much HP for them to cut through.
Yes, that was great support there coming from you, mate, making sure to provide those eggs and just regenerate. But there we go. We have a bit of a brawl in the top path, and Shifu takes down that Blastoise.
A great little 1v1 win, and that's going to be a whole lot of scoring in the top half. Oyasumi Makuro really needed that. Great wood hammer, stunning up 3 members of Oyasumi Makuro, but unfortunately, no follow-up from the rest of OMO Abyssinian. Shua trying to take this 1v1. They want a bit of a rematch here in the top half, but they're going to lose it. Unite move used from Pi, and that rapid strike Urshifu is going to take 1, but now they have to face another challenger.
Yes, they have to brawl that Blastoise over again as it has respawned, but look at this, the Trevenant using those Horn Leech just up here, ignoring that Flux Zone, getting another KO on that Blastoise. No revenge just yet.
The crowd explodes for a KO from the side of Japan as a goal zone break from Oyasumi Makuro happens, but OMO Abyssinian is turning this team fight in the bottom half into their favor, and Egg Bomb Plastation is not enough to chase down Oyasumi Makuro, playing this one safe, waiting for reinforcements as OMO Abyssinian has all the space, and they have an initial KO to start this team fight.
Yes, but they also have that Blastoise Hydro Typhoon on hand if needed. You know what? It's not needed. They just shredded it up.
Yeah, saving that Unite move is actually going to be pivotal. You want to use it in big team fights, and the way Miva has been playing so far this tournament, I think they are going to be excellent at just that. Sweet goes in deep, but it's only going to be Blastoise to try to cut them off. Not enough damage. Oyasumi Makuro has their eyes on this goal zone break right now, but Tempest's defense around has been solid. Hornleech brings Umbreon in, stun onto the Espeon, but Japan has let the Regieleki go in, and they are scoring multiple times in the top half.
There is just a whole nother story happening in that top half between that Urshifu. But look at this brawl that is happening in that bottom half, trying to just push out flows left, right, and center here, getting in more dunks, and it is now 216 to 107 in favor of Oyasumi Makuro.
But while those scores happen, Shua absolutely popping off here in the bottom half. We are going to have a 40-point overdunk from OMO Abyssinian, and that's going to give them the lead. But Kello, it is only by 1 point.
1 Oink, zoink. That is so close. And this just shows the caliber of these plays. But Shifu looks to be collapsed on in by Oyasumi. They pop their Unite move, but it wasn't enough, and they do get taken down. I don't think there was no escape from that.
Yeah, a trade 1-for-1 in that scenario, but just look at the respawn timer on P. Over 20 seconds when they went down. Obviously having an amazing game, sitting at level 14 for them. The comeback experience at OMO Abyssinian is going to be looking pretty good right there, with maybe a bit of an overextension for Oyasumi Makuro. However, look at this position. They find Tempest, Umbreon and Zacian chasing down that knockout, but Tempest finds a way to get out. Shua wants to capitalize on that damage, and Zacian goes down. Sui is out of this team fight, and a little engagement. OMO Abyssinian takes the victory in.
They do take that victory. Regieleki is about to spawn. They are circling around. They are possibly looking to shred this and create a little bit more pressure leading into the final stretch.
Yeah, they're going to get this one for absolutely free. Oyasumi Makuro not putting up a stop to this whatsoever. Instead, prioritizing the levels on their Urshifu. That is a level 15 we headed into this final fight. Only level 13s on the other side, but the way Shua has been playing Zoroark in this game so far, I think you have to be terrified of that specific speedster in this final fight.
Look, that is not the only Pokemon that I am terrified of. You know what? I'm terrified of a lot of these. But here we go. The final stretch is here. Liquidation does end up being popped on out. Trevenant pushing back that Umbreon with that Hornlink. Can they get the last hits? No, Blissey is there by its side to help it survive.
A lot of support Unite moves used already. Both the Eldegoss Hydro Typhoon hits nobody. Almost not able to follow up on that. However, Tempest does land the Trevenant Unite move, but Umbreon is able to escape. They are not going to be knocked out. Sweet chasing down Unite move from the Zacian, and the Eldegoss also escapes. Zacian tries to pivot back, but a Unite move from Shua is going to take out Sweet. They now have an advantage, 5-4 in this final stretch.
But look at the HP pools of OMO Abyssinian right now. They are super duper low. Blissey trying their hardest to just regenerate that health. We have Umbreon trying to be that tank, getting to that front line, get in those stuns.
Great knockout by Mame, and now the positional advantage is completely over to Oyasumi Makuro. However, Shua has found a way into the Rayquaza pit. They're trying to do some initial damage, but only at half HP. They are so squishy. Mame drops that Espeon Unite move. Psychic Solaire grabs absolutely no one. A double stun from the Umbreon. That's a problem. And there we go. Mame follows up with a big KO.
Oh, but there's an Eldegoss here. No, they didn't. It ends up being that Espeon that gets it secure, and you can hear the crowd go wild for Oyasumi Makuro.
Enough about the crowd. I'm going wild, Kello. Mame getting a huge secure, and now Oyasumi Makuro is going to rack up a gigantic score lead. 1, because of the race secure. 2, because of an amazing team fight win, as 5 members of OMO Abyssinian were down. They are slowly going to be respawning back into this game, but with with just under 500 point lead, Oyasumi Makuro has dominated and won this game number 1.
It is game number 1 after all, but you know what? They did put on a spectacular show. This Urshifu, it is not finished. It wants to get more KOs.
He has been absolutely phenomenal on this pick in particular. A Pokemon that has really defined the metagame of the World Champions. And Oyasumi Makuro are now at match point in the Losers Finals, having their chance to go up against Luminosity Gaming and Grant. It's within their grasp, but let's send it over to our analysts to break down that game number 1.
Oh, I can tell you, I've never, ever, I've said this before, but never heard this crowd so loud. For anybody out there who doesn't know, we're standing right next to the Japanese casters. They're on their feet right now. They've got the chairs. They are just electric. They are screaming their heads off.
Well, Oyasumi Makuro on that revenge arc, trying to get back to LG, the team that sent them down. Coincidentally, both these teams, as you mentioned, were sent to this